What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And is Stellantis about to abandon Canada? It looks that way. It really does. It really looks like they're going to abandon Canada. And I don't think they have a choice at this point. And it really does kind of throw the turnaround in 2026 up in the air, unless they're able to bang out so much inventory of this Dodge Charger that it won't matter. We're going to talk about all that and more right after this. Guys, before we get into today's video, I got to talk about this. We're going to talk about the Ram TRX and the Challenger SRT giveaway, as against my not protesting, but telling them I really don't think it's cool when they change the amount of entries, but I get why they're doing it. With 70 or so pieces remaining before they sell out and we close out the giveaway, they're going to 2,000x entries on one item that you'll see up on the site at tksgarage.bigcartel.com. And that gives you the 2,000x entries on not just the TRX, but also the Challenger SRT. Is it possible you could win both? Yes, but it's basically giving you, if you buy that pack, you're getting the same amount of entries, or it would be the equivalent of you getting 4,000x entries on one or the other. You're just basically getting 2,000x entries on this one and 2,000x entries on that one until they sell out. 71 pieces, I believe, at the time of me recording this, but I've seen 2 orders come in since I've been filming, so maybe under 70 now. Pieces remaining, so we could close it out today. That would be awesome. Allow us to do the giveaway announcements on both the Ram TRX and the Challenger SRT. If you want to win both of those vehicles or one or the other, we're also doing a second and third place. So second place will get a $250 cash option sent to them, whether it's, and that's something that I'm doing after the fact. The TRX giveaway did really well. So the company obviously didn't lose any money, and I really don't care if I make anything off of it. It's just a way for us to give back to you guys. And when I don't have sponsors or whatever during the month, that's why we do these. I can work with a company and build a relationship with them. That's why we do these. But anyways, if you want to get in on the Ram TRX or the Challenger SRT, now is the time to do that. You can do that by going to tksgarage.bigcartel.com. Link will be in the description if you want to get those 2,000x entries. So could Stellantis abandon Canada? We already know that they've all but abandoned Brampton, and Canada was pissed about that. Then Canada went out and did the most low IQ learning disability move I've ever seen. We're going to let the Chinese in. And they let Chinese EVs into Canada. Now, listen. I'm not a hater of the Chinese EVs. I've seen some of the shit that they build over there for 60 grand that shits on anything that Rolls-Royce makes. Now, are they reliable? Do they burn down the driveway? That's a whole nother discussion. But just seeing some of the tech and some of the stuff that these cars do that come out of China, these SUVs, ones that drive on water, ones that drive in the water, or on the, it's insane, the stuff, and they're EVs. It's insane, the stuff that you see, especially the BYD Shark, right? I really like that truck. And there's some other SUVs that are similar to what Ram is coming out with the REV, formerly the Ram Charger, but now will be the REV, taking over that nameplate from the canceled full EV. So we'll have the EV with a generator. Think BMW i3, but on a Ram, like a bigger scale. So it'll be interesting to see how all of this works. But I could see Stellantis 100% pulling out of Canada. I don't think they have a choice. The Trump administration is talking about slapping Canada with 150% tariff just for letting these Chinese in, and then talking about I wanted to make this a separate video, but I guess we could just talk about it. Like seeing Mark Carney, looking at his people next to him, look at him like, holy shit, what are you saying? To see Mark Carney come out and go, yeah, we're just aligning ourselves with the new world order, bro. You'd rather dick ride the Chinese than work with your friends south of the border. Now, granted, I get it. Maybe you don't have the same political leanings and you can't really work with Trump like that. Okay, the president's going to be president for about 3 more years, right? And then there'll be somebody else. And what it's telling me is you think that you're not going to be able to work with whoever our president is, and you're just like, F it. Well, I can tell you right now, Canada has done 2 things. They've basically secured themselves as the 51st state. Because let me tell you, let me be very clear. If Canada starts working with China and they start working with them militarily and they're letting the Chinese, I don't know, maybe get a base in Canada or start putting equipment in Canada, we will annex that shit. 100%. And I know my Canadian friends are going to be like, you're only taking, we will take that shit. Take it. And there's nothing Canada can do about it. Not a friggin' thing. There is zero they can do. Absolutely nothing. But getting back to the crux of the matter, is Stellantis going to pull out? I don't think they have a choice. And I think the premier in Ontario knows it. You've seen he's done interviews here on TV in the last 24 to 48 hours where, you know, even Unifor went, oh, shit. Because if they let these vehicles in and China is now in negotiations to possibly build them in Canada, that's it for U.S. auto manufacturers in Canada. I can tell you that right now. That's it. Because the Trump administration is going to hit them with massive tariffs. You can book it, guarantee it, it's done. 100% they're going to get hit with massive tariffs. Stellantis cannot operate in an area of uncertainty, right? If you're a business owner, I'll give you an example. You guys know I've had bars and nightclubs and strip clubs and shit, right? One of my biggest expenses is alcohol. If I don't know what my cost is going to be from my local distributor, whether back then it was Southern Wine and Spirits and Breakthrough Liquor, right? If I don't know what my friggin' cost is going to be every month, I can't do business that way. I don't know how much it's going to cost for me to be able to do business. You know, I don't know how much it's going to cost for me to order the 7 cases of Hennessy and X amount of cases of, Kettle One and Grey Goose. And in order for me to order all of that stuff, I have to know how much it's going to cost me every month so I know what to charge for my bottles, which we always overinflated. If you've been to a club, you get ass raped when you buy a bottle. But what I'm trying to explain is, unless you know how much the cost is to do business, you can't do business. You can't. It doesn't work that way. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. It'll be interesting to see how this goes and see what happens. But yeah, I'm hoping that Matt and the people at Dodge and Tim at with SRT and Ram and Antonio, of course, the CEO, are able to ramp up production, like just max out shifts and pump out enough Charger inventory that they could get through the rest of this year, like in the next 2 months. Like just push it through and then get like a waiver, get the president to give them a waiver, tell them, say, hey, look, we're going to move this production back to the U.S. We just can't pay this 150% right now, and we're in the middle of turning the company around. Can we get a pass? And we will move that shit back to the U.S. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Whether it's Belvedere, and I got more info on that too. I'll be doing a video on Belvedere here in a little bit. But I had there's a lot of rumors and shit talking about Belvedere being pushed back a little bit, maybe to the next contract. That's fake news. Just if you're a Belvedere person and you're looking to come back to Belvedere, just don't listen to that shit. I don't know who's coming up with these rumors, but they're bullshit rumors. If anything, Belvedere is possibly going to get another product and more inventory. And so is Warren, believe it or not. Because they're looking at where could this stuff go. And the only thing I can think of is, the minivan you know, they said that, you know, it could go to JNAP. I think it's probably going to go to Warren if they move the minivan. Because they're already going to be building the Ram Charger, right? The SUV from Ram. They're already going to be building the Grand Wagoneer. Yes, it's a different platform. Yes, they'd have to tool for it. But I think they could put the minivan at Warren as well. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. How do you feel about what's going on with Canada? And if you live in Canada, are you scared shitless that you guys are dick riding the Chinese now? Because I would be. I'd be like, who the hell? Like, just go. Look, if you just want to laugh, go look at the announcement when Carney is sitting around the table. And when he started saying that shit, when he said, you know, we really want to make sure we're aligned with the New World Order, da 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 da. Look at the people right next to him that work in his government that were like, what? What the fuck? Like, that look told me everything I needed to know about what other people in government are thinking about the moves that Carney is making. Because aligning yourself with the Chinese, stupid. That's just me, though. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're going to get on a Ram TRX giveaway, I'm hoping that it closes out today with those 70 or less pieces remaining. 2,000X entries at tksgarage.bigcartel.com. See you guys on the next one. And as always, stay petty, my friends.
For the longest time. Whoa. For the longest time.
Yo, Percocet, Miley Percocet.